Amazing.
Here we
Closer.
go. There we go.
Why have I quit my job? Why have I, bought a van? And why am I going to drive around the country? Well, I'm passionate about the idea that you need to be heard. And I want to stitch these stories together across the states. We're going to find the commonalities. And it's going to be really an amazing experience. And I look forward to you joining me on the job.
Hello, everybody. It's a good evening here from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, where I am doing a little bit of work for a client, giving some presentations. Really excited because I had a rehearsal today, and it's a motivational speech. It's the first motivational speech I've given where it's really purely about changing yourself to become somebody else that you want to become, and how you can't really get to where you want to be if you continue to think the same excuse me, think the same thoughts and do the same behaviors and live the same life. To be truly change and to be somebody you want to become, you have to change your thoughts. Begins with that. And really, we are all in control of our own thoughts, regardless of what the environment is around us. And you just got to make those changes. You got to stop that crazy thinking when it starts, and plot that course and remind yourself as your thoughts come in and they're not congruent with who you want to be. You control those thoughts and begin to map a new course, and your brain will follow. And I think Magda, our next guest, really probably can resonate with that very well. I'm sure you've had quite a bit of interdialogue in your life to become the person you want to be, and maybe that journey's still happening, like all of us. So, Magda, welcome to Mental Health Today. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule, dialing in from Berlin. We're on opposite sides of the world, but here we are, connected as a couple of humans. It's great to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you very much for having me. And yeah, I think what you said really resonates with me. I would say, yeah, I'm still on a journey like everyone. And yeah, this is beautiful that we can connect, we can exchange, we can, grow together. This is amazing. And doesn't matter where we are based, who we are, but important about what's important, it's about our values, right?
Hmm. Oh yeah, definitely having a good value set. It's a foundation for good humans. I was stalking your LinkedIn after after we kind of connected, and the idea to come on the show and to be a guest, and looking through and seeing kind of the corporate struggle of kind of bouncing around a little bit, trying to find, and then you found a home for a while. Really good. And then it looks like after that you've really found a home now of telling your story. What was
Yeah.
that? Yeah, what is that like, kinda grinding your way through the corporate life and then finding a little home, but really stepping out now into who you are and telling and sharing your story on the stage? I really admire that.
Yeah. So my background is so hi everyone again. My name is Magda. My pronouns are she, her. I'm originally from Poland, but I don't want to live there for few reasons. The first is I'm involved in diversity, equity, inclusion, and I feel like Poland is not diverse country,
Mhm.
so it's not the place where I can learn about diversity, and this is something what it's important for me also according to my own trauma as a person with a trans life story. I really need for my healing to be in a place where I don't have to explain each day my story, and I'm not just accept it or tolerate it, but I really want to be in a place where we have as a community rights. But unfortunately, my own country, Poland, it's still on a way to have those rights, and it's
Yeah,
very important for me to contribute, and I feel like I'm contributing by what I'm doing, as you said, being authentic version, and empowering other people and
yeah.
building allyship, explaining by my personal story why, for example, using pronouns it's such important. And yeah, But to give you the context, I've been HR leader for 10 years. So I've started from recruitment edge. And, also it gave me privilege to be here because I've been already as a male presenting person in a corporate world. And then when I started my transition, it was in May 2021. It was
Okay.
easier. I've already been there, so I've been heard by people, right? And I know the struggles right now when I, change to be beautiful woman, how cost it sometimes in a society, how
Mm.
some people are disrespectful or some people are, doing things like harassment. I unfortunately I've been harassed here in Berlin. So this is very horrible experience. And also I think it's good to remind those things happening also at the workplace. And this is my mission, why I'm doing what I'm doing to helping other people to be themselves
Yeah.
because I know how it could be hard, right?
I think it must be a powerful message from the stage, and just even in personal interactions, right? Maybe even as a coach, people who are living in their regular gender, they're born in a gender, and they feel they have some difficult parts in life. And you get on the stage and you have a story where, it's not just being a human, right? You're having a challenge, not just being a human, but to being your authentic self. And so it would make, I think, a lot of people's regular challenges in life seem kind of like, oh, okay, Magda's up on stage. That's a hell of a story. I really don't have any excuse. I of course my situation's real, my experiences are real, but there is at least a light of somebody who is a little bit braver, a little bit and facing a lot of like everyday challenge that I cannot understand. Must be it's a powerful platform.
Yeah, definitely it is. And still yeah, I feel like it's not also challenge for you as a person, but also I've been in a situation where I knew who I am, and still,
Ah,
people are trying to say to you that you are wrong, and this is hard because during my transition, I had feeling I need to convince people, I need to, of course, let's say like do not be only saying there are only bad things in our society, but unfortunately many countries, many people are trying to get it harder for us as a community. But there are many people who wants to help and they don't know how to help.
right.
So it will be also great that I can tell a few tips, actions, what people can exactly do, because I truly believe small actions can change a lot. And also it's a title of my first TEDx speech that I did the last October.
Oh,
So yeah, for how small actions can have big impact on trans community, as I said, like pronounce and inclusive language, or also a cup that my mother gave me with the name Magda, because I had to go through the procedure in Poland to sue my own parents, which was super unhuman. And this is
oh goodness. Well, we'll talk about that. Sure.
yeah.
Oh, and why did you have to sue your own parents? What were the because you're not a young person anymore, you're an adult?
And this is the point. You can't, explain it logically. It's like
Okay.
law from 90s. So, through traveling, I saw like countries like Spain or even Germany where the procedure it's much, human, and it's also connected. Like if you had to sue your own parents, like that has impact to your mental health, right?
Right.
Because they are not enemies of you, but unfortunately often it's like people who are not accepting in Poland or other countries, because for
Mhm.
example like Czech Republic, Hungary, like in Hungary it's
Yeah.
banned. It's banned, like people can't change their IDs. But if you want to travel like me, or if you want to um have your email in the company, it's already a challenge, and people don't understand. Many HR professionals thinks like, oh, so she can come to the office and say, from today I'm Magda, but it's not reality. It's much, harder, and sometimes, as I said, impossible to change. So I'm encouraging companies to make actions also for the folks who didn't accomplish transition because they couldn't. And this is
Mm.
also new for the people, because as long as you are not, a part of the community, or you don't have someone who is going through that process around you, you are not making effort to understand how it is. And yeah, this is reality.
Have you made peace with your parents?
The story is, I'm in touch with my mother. I know she loves me, but also, coming from one of the LGBT free zone. This is another, unhuman concept from Poland, according to our last party. So it's hard for her because she's very Catholic, and
Yeah.
she cares what people think, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
but although I know she loves me, she really supports me through how I could look today. Without her support, I will not look like how I look like today. I will not feel so
Okay.
confident as I am today, and probably I will not feel power to speak up. So yeah,
Mm.
I'm grateful to her to supporting me in a way that she could. So this is beautiful, and it's showing the love can, win.
Yeah, love wins, huh? I mean, I think that's the only way. It's hard to mess up a mother's love. I mean, if the mother truly loves you as a child and is that kind of person, I think children can do anything, and especially if you're true to yourself. I mean, eventually you will the love will take over, no matter her even being Catholic. And I know in Poland it's very traditional Catholic, and like you said, the community that she is in would also be at some point very difficult, but she would find some other friends in the community as well. I'm sure she reaches out. When I have a saying, when you're in a dark place, if you put your hands out and spread your fingers, you will find another hand. And I'm sure for her, in prayer, like my mom was a solid Catholic mom, so I'm sure your mom in prayer found some solace, and then found somebody that would understand and also give her some support.
Yeah, I really hope, yeah, for this, hoping for this.
How do people find you? Where because I think your message is powerful. You've done a TEDx,
Yeah,
which is so amazing. That's for a speaker. That's quite the pinnacle of life for sharing your story. How do
yeah.
people find you? And
Yeah.
yeah.
So for, like work, I'm very active on LinkedIn. So
Mm,
I would be very happy to send links to share. So putting Magda Stega on LinkedIn, you can connect or follow me to see, yeah, the advocacy that I'm doing, and the tips that I'm trying to share each day.
mm,
Also, I'm on Instagram, where also I'm showing the tips, but also I'm there, to show my preparation for Miss International Trans. This year, I've
so,
been
oh,
selected
really?
to represent Poland, and I will go to Belgium, because representation of Central Eastern Europe people, it's not a big representation. So also
Yes, of course.
we need to, yeah, show that, I mean, like, I need to show that we have people who are proud who we are, although it's hard, it's sometimes very exhausting. Yeah, and also, as I mentioned, on YouTube, you can find my first
Mm,
TEDx. It was TEDx Kazimierz, and I can tell that I'm preparing for the second one. and it
Yes.
will be about why being a queer activist it's exhausting job. So I would like also share the
Mhm.
background of being advocate about costs for mental health, and how it is exhausting, and why we need allyship. We need allies, people who will
Mhm.
advocate. Although small actions, as I said, using pronouns, it's such a big help. And also according to the situation for everyone who is different and everyone who is marginalized, we still really need everyone, because often people are saying, oh, I don't know, I'm not from the community, so I will not advocate, or I will not go to the pride
Uh,
because I'm not welcome. No, you are more than welcome, and we really need, like, when we see, for example, fight for gay rights, it's since 30 years or more, and it's not over. So please remember, when we talk about transgender individuals, to be honest, I can't see myself doing it for 30 years, because I know how hard
mm,
it is.
yeah.
So really, I'm hoping more people can do at least one small things, as using pronouns, for example, if they feel. And already it will be easier for other people, because yeah, of course, we see also progression, but we need role models, people who will speak up and openly sharing their stories, for example, on
Mm.
Instagram. So I'm more than welcome to invite you to keep in touch, and yeah, change the world together for a safer place for
Yeah,
everyone.
the yes, yeah, and I've got you. So if anybody's watching this or watching this on LinkedIn, then Magda's um, link is there, so you can find her just by clicking the link and follow and like you said, get some of the tips that are happening all the time. How do you keep your mental health kind of, how do you manage that? Because it is, I think regular, day-to-day stuff, we all have that challenge. And then you've got a little bit of an extra layer of
Yeah,
a little bit of an extra
yeah,
layer
I
of
love
it.
it.
You got a strong foundation of challenges that most of us don't face. So
Yeah.
how do you manage it day to day? And
Yeah. The first thing what is keeping me alive, I think it's dancing. I love dancing, and it's
oh,
helping to,
ah,
relieve the bad emotions, and those
mm,
trauma, as I said. But like, it's more complicated. It's really for a long time I didn't think about cost for mental health. To be honest, I thought, like,
ah,
yeah, I will go through surgeries, it will be like this, I will look how I would like to look, and everything will be great. But it's not like this. Like,
I
we
don't
all
think
have
so.
challenges,
Yeah.
right? So first of all is, and also I so first of all, I would say, find a sport or something that could help you relieve. So in my case, it's like dancing. It's also going for massages. How to
Yeah. Yeah.
ma- mass
Yeah, massage. Yeah, close enough.
massage, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm going often to massage, and what I'm really happy, I found in Berlin a person that is allowing me scream a lot. We have that kind of relationship, that they are doing the massage, and I'm screaming, and I'm fighting with a pillow, and they are saying, I don't care, you can destroy that pillow, you can do whatever you
Yeah,
want. And yeah, exactly.
he's
Few
giving
weeks
yeah, they're
few
giving
weeks
you the elbow and the real pain. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The few weeks ago, I've been to the first boxing class, and it was amazing. I want to keep continue, because also screaming, and I found a safe space. Like, here we have something like called Boxing Sisters for everyone who identify as a female. So it's a safe space, also with a lot of screaming, a lot of yeah, just relief. So that kind of things, like sports, and before my transition, or on the beginning of my transition, I've been to psychotherapy process. So it's
Okay.
been, in my case, for more than 2 years, and I think it's crucial, because if you don't have in countries like Poland, like support from from government, from often mental system is
Yes,
not
right.
working. In Poland, everything what I've done according to surgeries, it's been from my pocket, so it's not covered by
Mm.
insurance. Yeah, exactly,
Whoa.
exactly, 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 exactly. Yeah. So again, like I see like in Spain, in Germany, how it could works, or also in the US, where if you are paying, insurance, you often you need to wait. It's not like straight away, or like in the UK,
Of
like,
course, right.
waiting list. It's like, it's ridiculous. Like I've been recently to Amsterdam, and also people in the Netherlands said like, waiting list for 3-4 years. It's not also well,
Mm.
well, how to say, created. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's better waiting 3-4 years because people can't afford it, right? But still,
Yeah,
it's
you can't afford it.
yeah, still it's a question how we can, support. Many people are, asking for fundraising, or, for help from NGOs. So yeah,
Mhm.
you can easier for sure find a way to have that money, but still it's challenge. So it's also more and more corporates who want to be, more responsible socially.
Yeah.
They are helping somehow, but still it's a lot of things to do, right? Because imagine, yeah, it's also as I said, as I realized, a big change for me as a person and people around me, right? So um,
Mm.
it's a lot of aspects. I think I put a lot, but to finish the topic with, mental health, I would say, and this is what I didn't do on the beginning, is find your community. As you said about my mother, it's such important to have role models. So at least people that you are following on Instagram or other
Um,
platforms like TikTok. But also to have friends, because for a long time I didn't have like sisters with trans life experience, and there were so many questions that I didn't know the answers. Like, for example, still a challenge for me to find a partner because I really want to be in a relationship, but I found it difficult because many guys who are not experienced with women like me, they often have many assumptions. They also have like kind of social pressure, and
yeah.
for example, I'm following one person. Her name is, if I'm not saying it wrongly, it's Jamie, and she's Canadian. And I'm very impressed by her story and his husband, Phil, that he's openly sharing their living in Toronto. And he is sharing also his, feelings, and also he's transparent that it was new for him, and they are giving hope to other women like me that one day I also can be in love
I,
with someone.
yeah.
So yeah, this is such important to be a part of the community. So I would recommend, if you are on a spectrum, you're thinking who you might be, it's such important to find the groups of folks
Yes.
who
Yeah.
went this process, or they are also going through the process. Because yes, we are together stronger, but I also knew that for not for everyone it's so easy like me to talk with you, with Ken, who is somehow stranger, right? To
Yeah.
openly sharing everything. Often, there are so many, and also it's good time to remind that according to McKinsey report, it's showing that more than 50% people at the workplace not feeling comfortable to share about their, to doing coming out. And this is,
Mm.
it's such pity, and such a challenge for everyone. because also if people will do not know that someone needs help, they don't know how to help. So this is yeah, challenging for
Okay.
everyone.
I was getting a good smile there because I was remembering I was staying with my daughter and her husband and the family a few months ago, and they one of the shows that they like to watch is 90 Day Fiancé. I don't know if you've heard of this program.
No, but I will be very happy to check it out or maybe
You sh
apply to,
somehow it's like a almost like mail order bride in a way. They somehow connect, by mail. I don't quite know how they find the couple, how they find each other, but one of them was a relationship where uh, the was a trans man becoming right, becoming the date, becoming the partner,
yeah,
and it was
beautiful.
in I think it was in Budapest or somewhere.
Wow.
She was coming from another country, but he was there,
Yeah.
and it went a lot of this was around the peer pressure of him falling in love with her and
Mm,
what that meant for his family and his friends and seeking the support of his network.
yeah.
And just that the converse so you got a little bit of the conversation between the two, the
Yeah.
love, right, that they had, and they were clearly in love, and he was in love with her, and and you could see the struggle. So not easy, and I think it was their second time on the show, or their second time coming back together to try to make it work. Now I cannot spoil it because I don't know what happened because I was gone already. But yeah, 90 Day Fiance, and there was a cis guy and a trans woman. And it was it's like it was so funny to watch, right? It was so interesting, their conversations and everything. And really his own coming to terms with the fact he was in love with a human, and it wasn't a traditional kind of love. It was a little
Yeah.
bit something else, and he had to kind of figure out how to navigate that in his own world.
Thank you for sharing it. I will have a look. And yeah, as you said, like it's beautiful that we have more stories and people
Yeah,
are more. It's about normalizing, right? And people really need to finally accept the fact, like not everyone will do it, but like one person said, it's such simple. Trans women are women. Full stop. And the person
yeah,
asked like what we are talking about because
mm,
so many people are starting to say but biologically you're a man and those kind of things, right? But this is also interesting how people right now are into biology. Like how
yeah.
many
We're
people are passionate about it right now. Okay, I can understand because for example I don't want to have children, so for me like that doesn't matter, right? For the people who really want to have, there are also solutions, right? But I think unfortunately media and the social media has like bad and good influence, but often people are not thinking it's about human, as you said, about emotions. It's not about waking up one day and saying I would like to be a woman, because again, coming back to the topic of your show, it's like mental health. Like, so who will give yours, like who would like to give oh, one second, who would like to give myself a pain, because transition, it's not just fun. It's, of course, it's joy, it's euphoria, it's everything what we who we are, but it's also a lot of pain. So according to
yeah,
those arguments that we are waking up and we are saying we want to be a woman, people do not realize how much pain, how much money, how
yeah,
much rejection we had to go through to be where we are. And then each day to like have a fight to do not give permission to people who are just waiting here to point out some
yeah, yeah,
things and saying you are not a woman because you haven't been born as a woman. Like, oh, for example, 3 weeks ago I had a conversation with a guy, and he really couldn't find a words to say he is not interested to have a conversation. And he finally said, because you haven't been born as a woman, right? And those comments are still, happening,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, it's gotta hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But it's
Uh,
better on this stage, and do not go farther with that person, because I've learned, if someone is asking me on as a first question, are you trans? So I know that conversation will not go to the direction where I would like to go, because as we said, and I think it's a key point from the conversation, we are human and we would like to be treated as a human.
yeah.
And what you can do also as a takeaway from here, treat us as a human. If you are not attracted, if you
Mhm.
are not, if you don't want to
Right.
build a bigger connection, that's okay. But treat us as other human, as you want to be treated by others.
Mm. Yeah, and you might not be the person, Magda, but you might know the person, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that, a conversation with you might introduce me to the right person,
Yeah.
and that, you never know. So I don't discount, getting to know people and having conversations. You never know where they're going to lead. Oh, there are
Mm.
no accidental. There are
Yeah.
no coincidences, right? You don't meet people by accident. I believe.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
us, tell us about your new. You're writing a new speech for TEDx. So you've got something cooking. I don't imagine it's the same, maybe some iteration of it, but tell us about what's the next thing in the cooking in the brain? What are you going to share?
Yeah, so I'm doing diversity, equity, inclusion since 3 years, and sharing each day that story which
Mm,
has trauma, it's costing a lot. And as I said, coming from a country that still we don't have rights, it's such important to make people aware how it is, right? Because and also coming to the countries like Germany and Spain, which is like on a different edge of the way, because there is many rights, and there is people in the government that they really want
yeah,
to make
already. Yeah.
positive change. And also I'm just coming back from Amsterdam, where I've been the first time for the Pride. I've been invited by one of my clients, and it was amazing because for many reasons. Because also me, I've learned a lot, because I've been invited to the boat for remember. It's hard word in English to
Yeah.
uh, remem-
Remember. Yeah. Remember.
to remember people who die with HIV, about also
Okay.
stigma of it. So, but in Amsterdam, it was celebrating by everyone. Like each hotel, each place had flags, and I had feeling like really people are coming from different, lifestyle, like families with children, like men and women, and like the same marriage couples, like gay, lesbian couples,
Mm,
and everyone, and like small children who just had fun and been dancing, so all together, rather than a fight. So as a person that each day, and this is according to TEDx, each day I'm advocating, each time I'm trying to inspire people, each day I'm trying to give a concrete tips what they can do.
mhm,
uh, it's exhausting. And the main message here is we need people to support. We need cisgender people who are ally, who, and often they are straight men who are leaders, and often they
mm,
don't get the point why they need to advocate. And this is the reason why, because they are privileged. For them it was easier, for them it was obvious
yeah,
that
yeah.
there is a space for them. So we, as a people who, for example, me, that I went from the position of being privileged and male presenting person to the blonde one woman, and I know how it could be hard, how people can,
Imagine.
fetishize you or sexualize you, because also after my breast surgery I experienced unfortunately harassment in Berlin, in a city that I really thought I could be safe. And this is also, reminder for me that I don't believe there are safe spaces for us. I believe if we are create people around us, but safe spaces, it could happen everywhere. It's happening everywhere, and also
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
reminder that transphobia or other kind of discrimination. It's going each day, and we need to remind people about it,
Mm,
because people are forgetting, okay, we are after pride, so it's done. It's not done, because there are so many countries all over the world where you can be killed if you are gay. You
yeah.
can't, as I said, go to Poland and say, I'm Magda, but I need to sue my own parents. So we really need more changes all over the world. And
Mm,
we need to remind people, which is making people uncomfortable, because probably some people feel like, oh, but yeah, it is how it is. I'm
yeah.
telling the truth. And what you will do if you will
Mm,
say, yeah, she's right, I need to advocate, if at least one person after hearing it will realize about their privileges, and they will ask, because it's also, you don't have to know what you have to do. You can you can realize I'm privileged, and then you can send me a message through LinkedIn what I can do exactly, and I'm very happy to guide you, because
mm,
yeah, this is about also, because as I said, I'm privileged in a business environment because I've been there. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to invite other people who've been less privileged and they didn't have access to be there, right?
mm. Yeah, one kind of a one last question, and then maybe the harder question for you. Um, do you feel the weight or some weight of responsibility to end up going back to Poland and helping other people? Being that hand in the darkness, because I think at some point, like you said, you probably had to seek a safe space to get healthy, to get well, to get some of the things you wanted you couldn't do in Poland. Um, but in some way, do you feel like you're leaving anybody behind and you have to go back? I mean, that must be some tug of between your own mental health. Like you said, it's exhausting. Just even living in Berlin and doing it is exhausting. So the battlefield in Poland is a lot more hostile. Um, so do you want to go back and rescue people, or do you want to try to do what you can in the small, and not in the small ways, but using the idea of this, everybody can do something small and make a bigger
Yeah.
impact? How do you,
Yeah.
because there must be that, you must have that conversation in your head.
So if I understood correctly, are you asking if I'm planning to be back to Poland to do more?
Yeah, at some point, do you want to go back to, do you feel the need to go back, that responsibility to go back and help other trans people?
I'm good with myself. I feel like, through LinkedIn,
Mm,
Instagram, and also I've been like 4 weeks ago in Poznan, which I really found Poznan very supportive, because like, the person who is what is
majority?
majority
Majority?
of the city, they are having like a person that I met that is responsible for diversity, equity, inclusion. So I see a change there, but also I see like I don't want to sacrifice my life, and I want
Yes,
to
yeah.
be in
Yeah.
a place there where I feel good. And my heart today is going to Barcelona, because I realize it's only
Mm.
one city where I do not pretend I'm different person, and I'm very get along with the culture, and also I speak Spanish. So yeah.
Okay.
Um, so answering, I will do things for Poland, like also as I said, representing Poland during Miss International Trans.
Yeah.
So I
I
feel
love
like,
that. That's
yeah. I feel like I'm doing, and this is my maximum what I'm doing, and also I'm inspiring other people who are there or who are from there
Hmm.
to somehow make a change. But yeah, I'm not saying no, never. I will not come back because living in Poland it was also. Quite comfortable in the way that I have like very nice apartment, very quiet apartment, and I really like it. But I feel myself as a European. I feel also travels are such important for me, for my
Yeah, I
mental
agree.
health, for dates to have with the guys dates. So it's also such important to change, people that I
Yeah.
would date. And as I said, I feel like I'm growing after those experiences. And also, I'm more and more open because, yeah, I still have that fear of rejection. Even I'm strong, as we said, like powerful. Uh, I'm human, so also I have days, moments that I feel weak, that I feel,
Hmm.
yeah, that I can't do something,
Yes,
but
yes.
always I'm coming back to people who help me, people who really believe in me, because I met, and this is also amazing, I met mentors, people who really believed before I believed in the message, in the value that I'm bringing. So, and also it's connected with openness. At some point, you said something, and I felt like, yeah, openness. Like, if you really want to understand people, if you really want to, understand, for example, you don't know any transgender person so far. And I feel like as long as you are coming with open heart, with openness, you can, learn a lot. And often,
Yes.
unfortunately, I feel people are losing this because they are not coming with open heart, with openness, but with assumptions. So I would
Mm.
encourage you to come with openness,
Yes.
and with open heart, and asking the simple questions, as I said, what I can do for you. And
Mm.
you don't have to know, because the most important sometimes is a feeling for us that we are not alone, and the feeling that we can accomplish it, because it's a hard path, and it's not always supporting environment. So at least people will not um, try to who will help us. It means a lot for us.
It's beautiful. How about that? That almost feels like a closing, like a little bit of a closing kind of thoughts. And so maybe I just ask you anything else you want to add. I think your story, Magda, is beautiful, and what you're doing is courageous. So I think it's courage to be who you are, even
Yeah,
knowing as knowing the challenges and knowing what you'd face. You're still searching, and trying to become that person.
yeah,
Um, and
yeah,
then sharing, like you said, on all the platforms, and
yeah,
definitely the tips and stuff that I see. So,
yeah,
you know, good on you. I got a lot of mad respect for you, doing this not easy life you haven't chosen in a way, but you've chosen to step into. And I think there's a difference. So maybe any thoughts you want to leave the audience with? That was a great wrap up before, but anything else you want to throw in
yeah.
there?
I think the most important thing, and also hard, is stick to who you are, and because people will challenging you always. And this is something what I, for a
Mm,
long time, I didn't accept. I thought like, yeah, I at some point I will find a space where everyone will loves me, everyone will support me, but it's
mm,
not like this, right?
yeah,
And
no.
also it's a mirror, so I would recommend to see it as a mirror, as
Ah,
a challenge, and as a growth for you on the end, right? Because sometimes you feel like, I can't more, I really can't more, I can't take more, like why it's happening to me. So also I know many folks are individuals are struggling with, say, I need help. So I would recommend to always, if you feel ready, ask for help, because it's
yes.
amazing how many people help me through LinkedIn. And as you
Ah,
asked me, like, if I need anything, or Yeah, I mean, like I'm always need clients because I'm self-employed, and sometimes as a LGBTQ plus entrepreneur, it's some months are hard. You know, after Pride, it's been a boom, and then many companies
Yeah,
are
yeah.
doing nothing almost. So always, you know, introduction to the companies like in the States or all over the world
Mm,
are more than welcome to people who are responsible for diversity, equity, inclusion, or people who are leading employee resource group focus on pride or also mental health to talk with them and, for example, offer them a session, ask me anything, which I'm doing and which I've done
it's a
for.
great one.
Yeah. Also, we can link if you're okay with this, like a session Ask Me Anything, which I did for Grammarly, for Microsoft, for European Commission,
Mm,
to educate, inspire people, to help them ask the right questions. Because often I feel like people are having a fear that they will,
I yes,
use the wrong term,
yes,
but yeah, it's we all are learning, and this is what I'm repeating, like also I'm learning new vocabulary. English is not my first language, so
yeah.
I'm often like saying like
You're
you're saying for someone who is English first language, you are afraid, so what I have to do, what I have to say in relation to my, and for many years, before my transition, I felt like I will never be able to work in English, but I'm doing mistakes.
You're
And
doing great. Your English is awesome. Yeah,
thank
you
you.
think you're speaking English for 20 years. No, it's good.
Ah.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
this is about mindset, right? This is about mindset. If you
Yes, yeah.
really feel that something is your mission, passion, you will made it. But as I said, you need people who will believe. So if some people
Mm,
really believe in my mission and some people want to help me, connect with other folks
right.
who are doing the same work, I'm more than happy also, recommend folks who are doing, about black community, about other neuro
Mm,
diverse communities. Sometimes also I'm struggling with language, how to name it, but as long as people get it, yeah. And
yeah.
also it's a time for improvement, right? So also, yeah, with other speakers like you to connect and exchange, because yeah, we can learn from each other. So also like networking sessions, if someone might be interested in virtual coffee, also it's possible to book with me through Calendly to know each
Mm,
other, because yeah, I truly believe and I really want to help others, because as I said, many folks help me. So I truly believe in karma. So if someone helped you, you need, and this is what I'm learning, because I can be straightforward, and this is the last thing, uh before we've been finished. I always wanted to take everything for me, but many people said to me it's not how it works. So right now I'm also learning to help others, right? Because so many people help me, so I want to help others who are, in a more dark position, a more dark place, to give them a hope. You can be here, you can be a speaker,
mm,
you can have a client, you can, be entrepreneur, because so many things struggling to start to find a client, but they really feel they have message to say. So we need to, give them a voice, we need to give them a space. And
yeah.
finishing it, I'm very grateful, Ken, that you gave me that opportunity to share my story, that you gave
Mm,
me that space to share, yeah, what I have to share, with what I would like to share with yeah,
yeah.
with
The audience. Yeah.
humans.
Whoever comes across the message, right?
Yeah.
Magda, thanks so much. Very, yeah, like I said about you, I admire you for your courage on the different levels that I talked about. I think to get what you want in life, you have to give people what they need, and I think that's kind of what you were talking about there about helping other people first. And if you're giving them what they need, you will get what you want. Just that
Yeah.
kind of that
Yeah.
symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
So thanks again, Magda. Thanks everybody for listening and supporting mental health today. Great stories like Magda's, a lot of courage, people getting through all kinds of challenges in life, as well as a lot of practitioners. We interview people who are in the space and helping people kind of through their life, and that's their mission and their passion as well. And this show it's on LinkedIn, it's on YouTube already live, so you can find it on there. And then also in a couple of weeks, or it might be another month, I think maybe 4 weeks, we'll get this up on the audio platforms, traditional audio stuff that you can share. Thanks again. Hang on for 30 seconds. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, loose, baby.
We're about to go and make this vessel with these great professionals at Public Glass. We're not part of the community, but we're from the outer family of glassblowing. Yeah, we're gonna go make a magical giant jar with optic lenses so that if you turn it, it changes all the time. So if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Boom. Somewhere. We're still going. Still going. It was awesome, Magda. It's kind of it's trying to end itself. Let's see how it does. Still alive. It's just going around and around, and oh, there we go.